10 News begins with breaking news.
A fishing vessel searching for tuna miles off of San Diego's coast finds two men barely hanging on to their sinking boat. And within the past hour, we have learned they're not just any boaters in distress, they are U.S. Navy SEALs. Good evening. I'm Steve Atkinson.
And I'm Kimberly Hunt. Well, the SEALs were found 27 miles southwest of San Diego near Mexican waters. 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo just spoke to the captain who saved the SEALs. Laura.
And that fishing boat pulled up to this dock behind me about an hour ago with those two SEALs on board. Their boat capsized just after 4 this morning, and they weren't rescued until just before 7. I want to show you some cell phone video from that rescue, but I do have to let you know, since they are Navy SEALs, we cannot show you the faces of those men. You can see the SEALs balancing on the side of the boat as the Pegasus fishing boat approaches them for rescue. A majority of the boat underwater. The Pegasus captain says he was using high-quality binoculars to look for tuna when they noticed someone 3 miles away waving their arms in the air. As the boat moved closer, they realized what had happened.
Once I saw there was two of them, I asked that, is there anyone else? He said, no, just us, we're good, and they got on board. We gave them some water and coffee, and they hung out the rest of the day. Very appreciative and bummed at the same time that, they got on the boat with no wallets, no car keys, nothing, just wet clothes. That was all they had,
Again, we can't show you the two men rescued because they say they are Navy SEALs. The men told the captain they were also fishing and trying to sleep when the boat started sinking. The pair said they did have life vests but couldn't grab them before the boat went underwater. We have also learned that they were able to make a distress call with the Coast Guard. However, they didn't have time to share their location before the boat went under. Live, Laura Acevedo, 10 News.
So lucky the Pegasus was there. Laura, thank you.
Your voice, your vote. Congressman Duncan Hunter is facing off with Republicans looking to take his seat. And tonight, high-profile Republicans squared off for their endorsement. 10 News reporter Anthony Pura is there, and just 20 minutes ago, local Republicans decided not to endorse anyone. Anthony.
Well, it was a 49-member committee that went into a closed session here. Now, 2/3 vote is what a candidate needed to get in order to get that endorsement. Obviously, none of the 4 candidates were able to reach that threshold, but earlier in the evening at a candidates forum, all 4 of them really fought to get that endorsement. Congressman Duncan Hunter squared off with members of his own party looking to take his seat. The congressman faces 60 counts of felony charges relating to campaign fraud, but isn't backing down. Federal prosecutors indicted him 2 months before the 2018 election, but Hunter held off his Democratic opponent then. This time around, though, he'll have to fend off Republicans as well. At Monday's packed forum, Hunter dismissed those charges, saying he and the president share the same enemies on the left.
In fact, if you believe all the stuff that the Union Tribune and the news say about me, then believe everything that they say about Trump too, because it's not true.
The 50th district has been a long-time conservative stronghold. The candidates all tried to appeal to that base. California State Senator Brian Jones says he's been their longtime voice in Sacramento and will do the same in Washington.
The people in this district are hardworking, God-fearing people. We were Trump before Trump was Trump.
The Republican Party of San Diego County organized the forum. They asked candidates to keep comments positive, but former Congressman Darrell Issa took a jab at former San Diego City Council member Carl DeMaio, who is leading the GOP candidates in the most recent 10 News poll.
Mike passed out some literature. I don't think it's a violation of any 11th commandment. Carl DeMaio is an ever-Trumper and has basically been quoted saying it.
DeMaio, in turn, took a shot at Issa, who represented the neighboring 49th district for nearly 2 decades. Issa decided not to run for re-election in 2018.
Nancy Pelosi is Speaker of the House. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is Speaker of the House because we had 39 Republicans who cut and run rather than stood and fought.
And at this point, the party will let this all just get sorted out in the primary. We're reporting live tonight. Anthony Pura, 10 News.
Children left in tears as families flee northern Syria in fear of violent attacks from Turkish militants. This as the U.S. slaps sanctions on Turkey. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and Vice President Mike Pence announced those sanctions earlier today. They say President Trump ordered a hike on steel tariffs and stopped trade talks with Turkey.
The United States of America is simply not going to tolerate Turkey's invasion of Syria any further.
This is the administration's first move to punish Turkey for its attacks on the Kurds after the U.S. ordered its troops out of northern Syria last week. Unanimous support today for a plan to cut San Diego's homeless population in half.
We've not solved it here. It's not gone away, but we've not seen it explode either. We're dealing with it.
The city has a 10-year plan to get the roughly 5,000 homeless people in San Diego into permanent housing. It has 3 short-term goals: eliminate juvenile and veteran homelessness and reduce the unsheltered homeless population by half in the next 3 years. The plan also creates a leadership council, which angers some.
I mean, if you need another committee to tell you what homelessness is, you default the whole office of being a public servant.
The plan would cost almost $2 billion, and it's unclear where that money will come from.
San Diego City Council is now mulling over San Diego State's offer to buy the stadium site in Mission Valley. Today, SDSU made an offer of $68.2 million. Earlier tonight, we spoke with Councilmember Scott Sherman. He says some of the sticking points are the cost of the deal and mitigating traffic in Mission Valley.
They gave us what they're willing to do. We'll end up countering back and seeing where we end up, and hopefully by the end of the day, we'll get down to where this actually makes sense and is a good deal for everybody and gets the voters what they were promised and what they voted for.
Sherman says it will probably be a few weeks until the deal is discussed further.
SoCal Edison says its high voltage transmission tower was impacted around the same time the deadly Saddle Ridge fire started last Thursday. The official cause of the fire has not been determined, but it could indicate the utility's possible ties to the fire. One person was killed, nearly 8,000 acres burned, and it's now 43% contained. Evacuation orders were lifted over the weekend, and neighbors were able to return to their homes, some of them, though, in ruins. This wildfire was fueled by Santa Ana winds. And in Riverside County, the Sandalwood fire is fully contained. This comes as public health officials warn of unsafe conditions at that mobile home park that was ravaged by those flames. Evacuation orders for that mobile home park were lifted today, but the area is still closed. The deadly fire scorched more than 1,000 acres and killed 2 people. It destroyed more than 75 structures. Officials say a trash truck that dumped burning garbage started that fire Thursday.
A 26-year-old man says his cries came too late to save his parents from a fire that tore through their Logan Heights home. Wilbur Romero tells us he woke up to his bed on fire early Sunday morning. He says he tried to reach his family, but the flames grew quickly and he was forced to get himself out. Neighbors told him to stay back.
I was trying to turn off the fire with the water hose and they just said, no, you should leave, you should leave. I'm like, why would I leave? And I kept on screaming to them, like, get out of the house.
His mother and father, Jose Romero and Nicolas Amayo, didn't make it. His 3 siblings are still in the hospital. A North Park business owner says she'll have to shut down for at least 2 weeks.
Late Sunday night on a busy part of University Avenue, someone smashed into her futon store, but not for a wooden sofa. All they wanted was a rock. Creative Futons in North Park has been around a long time, but owner Leslie Evans arrived to something very unusual at work Monday morning.
I saw the door and I knew.
Someone broke her glass front door, sending glass everywhere.
There's shards of glass through everything cloth, which will have to be taken away.
Luckily for Leslie, she installed security cameras and they captured everything. Just before 11 Sunday night, a young man walked up to the front door of Creative Futons and...
Kid came up and saw something he wanted in the window.
It wasn't a futon, but a piece of crystal Leslie also sells in her store, worth about $100. After walking out of frame, the man returns with a rock and tries to break the glass, but no luck. So he walks off again, but he's not done.
Really, he gutted my store last night.
The man went to the alley, found a 2x4 and smashed the window. He casually climbs through the door, grabs the crystal, sets down the 2x4 and just walks off.
just like that.
I think I would have just handed him the $100 to avoid all this.
Why? Leslie estimates she'll be out of business for at least 2 weeks. She can't sell a thing if there are small shards of glass in it. So a cleaning company will have to do a very thorough job, and that'll cost her even more money.
As a small business owner, yeah, that hurts.
Leslie says she has been in business for a long time. She is not going anywhere and hopes that someone recognized the man in the video.